Today we're watching a restoration by the Russian master Gravity. And after seeing so many restoration videos, this one can truly be called a top tier. This time, Haigu is restoring a children's pedal car made during the former Soviet era. The story behind this car is very special. Wei Ji's grandfather bought it for him when he was a child, and many years later, it was rediscovered in a warehouse. Now Weiga wants to restore it and pass it on to his own son. Truly achieving one car. 3 generations, people change. But the car remains. Why? Do I say this restoration is on a whole different level? I believe that after watching it, 2 question marks will pop into your head. What is this? And what is that? It's a real eye-opener. Back to the video. Wei Ji has already removed the front surround and the 4 hubcaps. And the first step is degassing. He takes out a bottle of degassing agent. And honestly, even though it's my first time watching his videos, you can clearly see how excellent the framing, depth, and close-up details are. Not only is his restoration skill top-notch, but his video production is also extremely strong. After applying filler, he sprays a gray-white primer, and once it dries, he moves on to the top coat, choosing a black piano lacquer with an incredibly rich color and beautiful gloss. After drying, the result already looks amazing to ordinary people. But in Weigo's eyes, it's still not enough. So he begins silver plating the hubcaps and front surround in a way most people have never seen before. He cleans the hubcaps with soapy water, blows off the remaining moisture with an air gun, then suddenly boils water. Not for tea, but to make coffee. Coffee powder is added, stirred. Then lemon juice is squeezed in, followed by vinegar and even salt, creating a layered coffee that isn't for drinking at all, but serves as a sensitizer. Coffee as pigment, lemon for acidity, salt to increase ion concentration. He then prepares the silver plating, reducing agent using ferrous chloride, diluted with water and vinegar, with acetic acid acting as a brightener. After spraying, he uses colloidal silver and calcium chloride to generate silver chloride, which serves as the main salt in this spray plating process, reacting instantly on the surface with excellent results. A clear coat is applied afterward, and with the added pigment, the surface takes on a dark, calm tone that changes beautifully under different light angles. Extremely cool. All the chemical silver plating solutions were made by Weige himself, and while most steps are understandable, that cup of coffee took me a long time to figure out. And this is only the first highlight of the restoration. There's much more to come. Back to the car itself, Weige disassembles the main body, using a mix of engine oil and kerosene to loosen the screws. After removing the tires, he takes apart the pedal linkage, which is basically the car's power system. And incredibly, it even has a spring shock absorber. A tiny pedal car with a suspension system is just mind-blowing. After disassembly, the wheel components are cleaned with soapy water, then degassed and derusted, using a heated nozzle and citric acid. Though this method won't work on nickel-plated parts, the reaction xiaoguo is excellent, with paint and rust completely removed, revealing a beautiful bare copper color, though fine pitting remains. Then comes another wild move, traditional blackening. Oxides are dissolved in water, stirred, then ammonia nitrate is added, something most people can't legally buy. The parts are immersed, and under high temperature, an oxide layer forms on the steel surface, creating the blackened finish. In simple terms, it's an oxidation reaction involving ammonia, producing compounds similar to those in modern bluing solutions. This ancient method is mostly abandoned today because ammonia is toxic. And once again, none of Wei Ji's operations are recommended for imitation. They are extremely dangerous. Finally, he moves on to yet another magic step, pouring in a liquid diluted with water, a powerful desalting solution he formulated himself. Even a small bottle is enough for the entire large car body. And the effect is incredibly strong, though the exact formula remains his secret. And that stunning result says it all. Amazing! Rust flakes are falling down like snow, just pouring off. Now, using a white cloth wire pad dipped with a scraper, he completely cleans off the entire paint surface. And you can finally see the car body's original color, though it's covered with heavy rust. At this point, Weige begins mixing the rust remover. This is phosphoric acid, and when diluted and mixed with fossil powder, it becomes thick enough to stick firmly to the surface of the part. Next, he adds another ingredient, something known as a fog-type corrosion inhibitor. I won't go into details here. You can look it up yourself, but its role is inhibition and stabilization. We know roughly how much rust remover is being used, but Weige never reveals the exact formula. It's clearly his own secret recipe. That said, the effect is undeniably impressive. Using a brush, he coats the entire surface, and you can see the reaction happen incredibly fast, with outstanding results. There's even a close-up shot that's truly jaw-dropping. After it dries, he scrubs everything off with a stiff brush, then cleans the surface again with a thinner. Once that's done, the bare steel is fully revealed, completely exposed, showing every detail. The rust removal effect here is honestly far beyond what we usually see. Next comes the primer stage. First, a thin layer of acid etching primer is sprayed, followed by a mixed acrylic primer. These two primers interlock very well, making the base much stronger. After the primer is done, he takes out a large batch of body filler, adds hardener, and begins spreading it to fill the surface. This step was a bit confusing to me, since most restorations apply filler before primer, but here the primer comes first. The reason is that after drying, the powdered guide coat forms on the surface, acting as an indicator during sanding, clearly showing which areas have been sanded and which haven't. He sands the entire surface, and for large areas, carbon powder is often added to improve visibility, because some inner areas are hard to reach. He uses a sprayable filler instead of hand-applied filler, though sprayed filler isn't as smooth, so it's followed by another coat of acrylic primer. After sanding the filler, the surface becomes extremely smooth and flat. Now it's time for the top coat. The color scheme used here is black metallic paint on the interior, giving it a deep premium look, while the exterior uses a two-tone design, red, paired with white, which looks absolutely beautiful. He sprays the interior first, then moves on to the exterior, applying a red metallic paint. Even before clear coat, the slightly matte texture already looks fantastic, although the painting process isn't flashy like magic. The overall quality is excellent. To define the design, the lower half is painted white, creating a Maybach-style two-tone body. Once the paint dries, we get to the satisfying part, peeling off the masking tape. The crisp red lines perfectly complement the upper red body, and after spraying clear coat, the gloss really comes alive. Still, that's not enough for Weige. He polishes the surface, starting with a coarse compound, then follows with an ultra-fine polish. With two-stage polishing, the shine improves dramatically. Watching the entire video, from paint choices to chemical formulations, I honestly started wondering if G used to be a chemistry teacher who later retrained as a painter. Once all the parts are finished, assembly begins. A bit of oil on the tires makes mounting the wheels easy. Assembly is actually the least exciting part because everything before it was just too impressive. Every solvent was handmade by Weige himself. Every small decorative piece was either fabricated or carefully restored, and even the leather cover was stitched by hand. The only part he ordered online was the acrylic windshield. Finally, the chrome parts are installed. The small bulbs are fitted, and the restoration is complete. He presses the horn, and we quietly admire a few close-up shots. The car is stunning, flawless from every angle, with beautiful details and a color scheme that feels just like a classic vintage car. Honestly, it feels like his son could pass it on to his own child, one car lasting 6 generations. People come and go, but the car remains. This is truly a ceiling-level restoration, and with that, this restoration video comes to an end. Thank you all for watching. See you next time in Max's Restoration World.